Hello, I'm going to answer some of your questions. I actually got a lot more questions than I thought I was going to get. I got about 60 altogether, which is good, thank you very much. So I'm just going to read through them and see how far we get. Okay, the number one question from Let's Go In Style is, you ever pulled a trigger on a nigger? No. No. Legendary Rock 10 asks, what do you do for a living? I am a private music tutor. I teach guitar, bass and drums from here in my studio. I play guitar and piano in a covers band. We do corporate events, weddings, parties, those sorts of things. I work part-time in my dad's music store. It's a family business that's been going for many years. He teaches piano, so I go in and cover the shop while he does that. And I am a foster carer. So there you go. How do you learn songs so fast? Okay, this is another popular one. A lot of people ask me this. There are several aspects to this. One is just years of practice. I just do it a lot, so I get naturally quicker at it. I think the main thing that's helped me is teaching guitar. I get pupils who come in and say, I want to learn this song, and I've got half an hour to work out the song, transcribe it, and teach it them. So that's kind of spurred me on quite a lot with that. Also, different guitarists and different bands have very specific styles and things that they play that define them as a band or that as a genre. For example, Will Swan, there are certain chord progressions and chord patterns and things and scales and twiddly bits that he does quite often, and techniques that you can already go into the song expecting roughly what sort of things he's going to be playing. So that helps quite a lot. And just a good understanding of music theory and how these things work is one of the best things for doing it. Because if you understand how chords are related to each other and how scales fit with chords, then if you know what key a song's in, you already kind of know all the chords and all the notes that are in that song. It's just a case of piecing it together, really. It's a difficult thing to do, but I've just been doing it for a long time. Okay, could you do some tutorials about how to play songs of A Lot Like Birds or The Fall of Troy? Yes, I think. I've only done one A Lot Like Birds song so far, and I probably can't do a tutorial on that because it would be insane, because the song's insane. Other songs, yes, I could probably do that. I believe I could. It's very hard to teach that sort of stuff, though. The Fall of Troy, yes, I need to do some more Fall of Troy songs. What did I do? X-Creations. I did that a while ago. But yeah, Fall of Troy is generally easier to teach. There's just a lot to it, so it might be quite a long lesson. Like some Dance Gavin Dance things that I've done. Some of them are really long because there's loads of bits. There's not just like a verse and a chorus and then you're done. So yes, I think is the answer to that. Yes, I can. And I will. Okay, next up, what do you do most times when you're not kicking our asses with your guitar playing? Any music or art related hobbies perhaps? Guilty pleasures? I'm really lucky in that music and guitar playing is my hobby and what I love to do. So I'm lucky in the fact that I can teach guitar all day and play guitar all day, and then to relax afterwards, I just play guitar. So that's a fantastic thing. I'm so happy about that. That's great. Other things I like to do, I like to play games. I've got a decent gaming PC in here, although I don't get to do that much these days, but when I do, I'm quite obsessed with Planet Coaster at the minute. I love that game, it's so good. So yeah, those sorts of things I like to game, but mostly just guitar. Just guitar, music, that's what I love to do. I love to do these videos, and there we go. Guilty pleasures. I am a massive Disney freak. I suppose that could be a guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty about it because I love it. It's great. I don't care what anyone thinks. So I suppose that would be a guilty pleasure. I like Disney. I'm a Disney kid. Okay, what have we got? The exact process to recording a cover and syncing and programming the audio, and what program you use, etc. Okay, I'm going to do a separate video on that because that's a lot to just answer quickly in this video. So I will do another video on that. And also, when you say to control our gain distortion with the volume knob, how do you still remain loud at a cleaner sound with the volume down? Okay, the volume knob on a guitar isn't necessarily just volume, as you would think of it. It basically turns the signal going to the amp down. So the amp controls the volume, the guitar controls the signal going to that amp. So as you turn the volume down, there's less going to the amp, which means there's less of it to be distorted, which means it gets cleaner. Obviously the volume does drop a little bit because of the signal, but generally it stays roughly the same level. And if it doesn't, then just a bit of compression will help bump that back up. So oftentimes with my covers, just on the track after I've recorded it, a little bit of compression just to squash things down to the same level. But yeah, it's quite simple really. Okay, next up. Ooh, long one. This is lots of questions. Okay. What got you into playing the guitar? Was it a band that got you into it? What was it, your first childhood instrument? Who would... Okay, I'll stop there. So, what got you into playing the guitar? Was it a band that got you into it? And what was your first childhood instrument? My first childhood instrument was piano. When I was little, my dad's a piano teacher, so I picked that up a little bit, but I never massively got into it. After that, I played saxophone for a few years, and I got quite good on that. But then, when I first got a guitar, I've never touched a saxophone again, basically. What got you into playing the guitar? Was it a band that got you into it? It wasn't really a band or a specific thing, really, I don't think. My dad bought me a guitar, and I had a little book that showed you a few, it's like your first 50 riffs or something like that, and I found that I could get on with it quite well, and it started sounding quite good, and then I got a little pedal and I was playing with that, and it just progressed from there, really. I think I just enjoyed doing it when I first started, so that's what spurred me on. Also, who would you say is your favourite guitarist? Personally, mine would be Will Swan. The way he implements those funky sounds into different songs gives them friction. Okay, so my favourite guitarist. I really don't have a favourite guitar player. There are such excellent guitar players. Again, Will Swan of that genre is excellent and so creative and a cracking guitar player. But then I was brought up with like Boston and Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin, so I love all that sort of stuff, those sort of influential, just quite simple but classic rock guitarists. I like that. When I first got a guitar, I was big on Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Eric Johnson, Steve Morse. Who else have we got? Lots of Steves. There was Tony McAlpine, Yngwie Malmsteen, Vinnie Moore. There's just loads of just instrumental guitar players who really got me into guitar playing. Basically, that's where I got all my influence from originally. These days, I still love all those guys. I love Matthias Eklund. He's an excellent guitar player. Check him out. Weird, but really good. People like Guthrie Govan. He's an excellent player. Then there are acoustic players like Tommy Emmanuel, big fan of him. Classical players like flamenco type guys. Paco de Lucia is an awesome guitar player. Was. I think he's dead. Is he dead? He might be dead. I don't know. But yeah, there's so many from so many different bands. Dan Weller and Pin from Sixth, just incredible players. Pliny at the minute, obviously, massive influence at the minute. Awesome dude. Tim from This Town Needs Guns, incredible player, so innovative, and yeah, just so many. So I don't really have one, I have about 1,000. Okay, do you ever talk to any of the people in the bands that you cover? Yes, quite often actually, I do. Depending what band it is and how big they are, and if it's a cover that I've done really quickly, then they often pick up on that and just leave a comment and say, hey. Some of them add me on Facebook, and then we chat on there. Martin Bianchini of Dance Gavin Dance. Speak to him quite a lot. We're Facebook buddies. Facebook buddies now. Yeah, we talk equipment. He's asking me advice on guitars, which is quite cool. I like that. That's very good. Jack Bennett of Grumblebee, who's one of my first covers that I did, and he's a cracking guy. Hung out with him quite a lot. Speak to him a bit. He sent me a Christmas card, which was nice. I like that. That's good. And I plan on going in and having a look at his studio that he's just built and things like that. So yeah, quite a few actually. A lot. It's really good. A lot of them are really appreciative of stuff. So it's good. What software do you use to record your guitar parts? Also, do you have any tips about recording? I use Pro Tools. I'm on Pro Tools 10, and I use a Laney Ironheart IRT Studio amp running into a Focusrite Sapphire Pro interface. I will do another video in more detail about my equipment. I did one quickly quite a while ago, like a rig rundown, but I've changed how I do things a little bit since then, so I'll do another in-depth one soon. Any tips about recording? Including in that video, I will do some recording tips. Okay, how can you encrypt? How can you encrypt chords when doing upcoming covers? How can you encrypt chords when doing upcoming covers? I can learn lead well with my ears, but when it comes to doing chords, I get a brain fart. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, lead stuff's a lot easier because you've just got note, next note, up a bit, down a bit, and so on. That's a lot easier than chords. Chord stuff, the easiest way to go about it is to learn what different types of chords sound like. All chords have characteristics to them. So major sevens sound a certain way. Suspended chords have a certain feel to them. Diminished chords are very definite sounding. You go, oh, that's a diminished chord, and things like that. So learn the characteristics of chords. Root notes, just 90% of the time the bass is just plodding on a root note of whatever the chord is. Find the root note and extrapolate from there. Doesn't always work, but that's a good place to start. So yeah, just learn your chords, learn all your bar chord shapes and your different inversions and things like that. That's all it is really, and you learn to recognize what sounds like what, so you can get there quicker. Can you cover some Glassjaw songs like Siberian Kiss and Major and others? Yes, I can, and I will. I love Glassjaw. Okay, I've seen that there is a drum set behind you in a couple of videos. Do you play? And if you do, will we be seeing any drum covers in the future? I do play, and I teach drums, but I've never really thought about doing a drum cover. I probably should. I think that might be quite cool. It's just a lot of effort, because I do most of my covers in the evenings, and again, wife, children, in bed, above my studio. It's really well soundproofed, but bashing away on drums late at night with children asleep is probably not the best thing. But yeah, maybe I will think about it. I will try and do some at some point. Okay, why did you start playing? I've kind of answered that one. What's your favourite band? Kind of answered that one. I don't have a favourite band. I have a favourite 1,000 bands. So it changes daily. Sometimes I just like to stick Dance Gavin Dance on and rock out to that. Sometimes I'm in a bled kind of mood. Sometimes it's Dream Theater. Sometimes I'm in a nice calm Tommy Emmanuel acoustic fingerpicky mood. Sometimes I love just anything and everything. Sometimes I'm in a Mr. Bungle kind of mood. So yeah, I don't have a favourite band. I have thousands of favourite bands. It's great. How long have you been playing? Is there some kind of training to make it easier to learn songs by ear rather than relying on tablature? I've been playing for about 15 years, 16 years. I was 14 when I first got a guitar, and I am 31 now. That works out, right? Yeah. Is there some kind of training to make it easier to learn songs by ear? It's just practice. It's kind of all it is. Start with simple songs, be it something even you don't like, just stick a Green Day song on, because that's usually 3 power chords, and you just bash away those. If you can find those notes, then that's a good start. But familiarise yourself with music theory and chord shapes and those sorts of things, like I said before, and that helps a lot. How many guitars do you have? Can you show us? Yes. How many guitars do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1 in pieces. I think I've got 17 altogether. So here we go. Let me show you some guitars. We have a Cort A6 bass, a Cort something acoustic. What is the model on that? CJ7X, that's the model on that. This weird little thing, which is quite cool for taking on a holiday. I like that, that's good. I have a Yamaha Pacifica. I have that thing, which is one that I drew on many years ago. I have a little ukulele. I have a Cort G100 HH. I have my Dean 8-string. I have my Ibanez Gem, Pride and Joy. I love the guitar. I have my Ibanez RGD, another one that I love. I have another Ibanez 7-string. Another Cort G100 HH. My Yamaha BB something 44, I think it is. And my Cort KX Custom. So yeah, that's my guitars. There are others. There's one in pieces down here that I'm currently working on, and a couple of others that are out of reach at the minute. So there you go. See what else I've got. Why are you such a beautiful man? Genetics. Hi mate, great vids, keep them coming. Can you do more Avenged Sevenfold covers, please? No. I don't like them. I know I did one, but sorry. What's your musical background? Is your family musical, or did you just pick it up on your own? Lessons, theory, blah blah blah. Okay, my musical background is, like I said before, my dad's side of the family has the music shop. My granddad was a saxophonist. He was in big bands, swing bands. My dad teaches piano and has the music store at the minute. My mum's side of the family isn't musical. My sister plays a bit of keyboard, but never really got into the whole music thing. So yeah, I've had some guitar lessons. But the majority has just been learning stuff, working stuff out, doing things on my own. Theory, yes, lots of that. I love my music theory, big theory head. Who or what moment would you say made you want to play the guitar? Who is your guitar hero? I think the big thing that sticks out for me is when I first got a guitar, I had a G3 video, which was Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and Eric Johnson. And I was just obsessed with that. I just idolised these three people. That's about all I knew, really, from that style of music, that instrumental, shredding type stuff. So I was massively obsessed with them, so they're always going to be the three big ones that really got me into it. How do you approach the tones? Okay, matching the tones of the songs. That's for another video as well. I will try and do a video on that. I don't know, I just play with it until I match the tones. I don't know. There are certain tricks and things, EQ, certain things you can hear within a song, within a band's tone, that you can replicate quite easily if you know what you're listening for. So, same sort of thing. I'll do a video in more depth on that at some point. Also, is that your kid in your thumbnail, Future Shred Master? Yes, that is my daughter in the thumbnail, and so far, yeah, she likes to watch me play guitar, and whenever I do, she comes and sits on my knee and starts tapping away on it. But she's 3, so I don't know yet. I hope so. It would be good. I'd like her to play the piano and be a really good singer. That's something I can't do. I can't sing very well at all. So if she's a good singer, that would be awesome. I would love it. Okay, interesting one. What's the story, Morning Glory? I think that's less of a question, and if I could just add something on the end of that. What's the story, Morning Glory, is possibly the worst thing in the world that's ever been committed to record. I hate Oasis, sorry. I don't know if any of you like them, but I can't stand them. Can't stand them. Like Nirvana, can't stand Nirvana. At all. At all. Sorry. Can you play some more Mr. Bungle covers? My Ass is on Fire or Stub a Dub, for instance? Yes. Yes, I can. I really want to do some more Mr. Bungle covers. I can play Stub a Dub on the piano, largely, and the bass. I worked it out quite a while ago. I think I was going to do a video on it, but I never did. But yes, I love Mr. Bungle. Love, 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 and I really want to do some more covers, so I will. What guitar would you recommend for a budget of under £500/$600 and amp too? I will always recommend Ibanez and Cort. You can, even the cheap Ibanez stuff and even the cheap Cort stuff, you're talking £100 to £200. It's just really good. If you want to go for more classic Gibson Fender style things, unless you're paying £1,000 plus, don't bother. There's so much more available that's better and cheaper than a £500 Epiphone or a £500 Fender or Squier or something like that. So particularly for this style of music that I do and that I like, yeah, Ibanez and Cort are my two go-to ones. Not a big Schecter fan personally, or Jackson or BC Rich. but that's kind of personal taste. I love the pickups on Ibanez, and the cork guitars themselves are, I think, made in the same factory as the Ibanez ones, so they're just good. And amp wise, depending what size you want, if you want something gig worthy or whatever, just Carlsbro. I don't know if you can get Carlsbro over in America or wherever you're asking this from, but Carlsbro are doing some really nice little valve amps at the minute. Or you could go for Vox. If you go in Line 6 or Vox, the two ones that do all the different sounds and the amp modelling and stuff, go Vox. They're just better. Line 6 stuff is mostly poo. What's the best way to approach fast guitar playing for beginners? I've been playing for around 2 years now. I'd like to explore more aggressive and fast-paced lead guitar playing. I will do another video on that at some point, because there's a lot of ways to approach playing things quickly, and they're all quite different. So I will do a video on that, don't worry about it. How long would it take someone to learn how to play the guitar decently? And I've always been wanting to, but never got the chance. That's probably the hardest question in the world. From experience teaching, I've had some pupils who come in knowing nothing and progress and get quite good, and within a couple of years don't really need the lessons anymore. You know, if they're really into it and there's some natural, ability there, then they move on. I've had a couple of people who really put a lot of effort in and really try and were coming for years, but still didn't get very far. So every single person is different with this, and the genre and the style that you go down doesn't make much of a difference for me, because really you want to play what you want to play. So your idea of a good guitar player will be completely different to my idea of a good guitar player. So don't worry about that sort of thing. But yeah, my answer to that is always, you'll find out when you start playing. That's it, really. Go and get a guitar and start now, and in a few months see how you're getting on. And if you're struggling, then maybe try to take some lessons. And if you're still really struggling, then maybe try a different approach. Or you might find you pick it up really quickly. So yeah, go and get a guitar and you'll find out. May seem like a dumb question, because I imagine you have, but have you ever played a paid gig, like with a band or something like that? Thumbs up. Yes, that's what I do for a living. The parties and weddings and those sort of things are all paid gigs. As far as playing original songs with a band, I've done a few. I've been in a few bands and things. Nothing much like the style of this that I do on here. But yeah, I've done a few things, played a few paid gigs, but nothing overly massive. Had a bit of radio play and things, but nothing huge. Phone. How long have you known Dance Gavin Dance? Times New Roman, I think, was the first thing I heard by them, and that was whenever they released it. So it's been pretty much the whole stretch. I've been through Johnny and Kurt, and then Johnny again and Tillian. So yeah, long time. I thought about buying a 7-string. Any recommendations? And do you use plugins like Bias Effects? 7 strings, Ibanez. Ibanez is always what I would go for, but again, personal preference. Go and play some. That's all you can do, really, and see which ones you like the look and the feel of. Do you use plugins like Bias Effects? I do have Bias Effects, although I don't really use it that much. I quite like to use it for bass. I find the bass amp really good, but the guitar amps and things on it, I pretty much just use my Laney. What do you think happens after we die? I think we either go in a box in the floor or in a big fire. That's about it. I think it's really boring being dead. It's like being asleep, but forever. It's just boring. Boring. Having problems with both bass and guitar. My fret hand and playing hand tense most of the time when I'm playing. Pretty sure my positioning's wrong. What would you say would be the best way to tackle this? Generally, you tense up when you go too fast, so slow right down to a speed where you can play things really relaxed, and then work your way up to a speed where you start getting tense, and that's your limit. So slow down again after that. So every time you get to the point where you're tense, slow down again and work your way back up. And then the next time you're tense might be a little bit faster, and then slow down. And the next time you get tense might be a little bit faster. So yeah, just slow right down, and yeah, just relax as much as you can. When you start tensing, you're going too quick. Okay, that looks like about it. There's a few I've not done, but I think I've covered them in most of my other ones. Yeah, and there you go. So any other questions, anything I've not covered, or any further things you want to know, ask me in the comments on this video, and I will do another video with the answers. So yeah, thank you very much. Keep them coming.